Mayor, it's 7 o'clock.
Evening. In accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board designed for that purpose, and notice was transmitted to the official newspapers provided by resolution adopted January 6, 2024. Meeting notice has also been continuously posted on the borough website. May I have a roll call?
Yes, Mayor. Council President Morgan?
Here.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Here.
Councilman Otteson? Councilwoman Russo is absent but excused. Councilman Bagan is absent but excused. Councilwoman Herron? Thank you. And Mayor.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. Please be seated. We'll now open it up for public comment on agenda items only. That's agenda items only. If you'd like to make a comment regarding anything on the agenda, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Not seeing any public comment. We'll close that public comment portion. We'll move into the caucus work session, and not seeing any items on the caucus work session, we will recess from the caucus work session and move into the recognition of service of Councilwoman Kate Russo. I asked that council would be all right with it, that we table the official recognition until a January meeting where we can have Councilwoman Russo join us as the presenter with the plaque. I feel for the 3 years that Kate has served on this council and this team, she has been an incredibly vital asset. And I think it's would only be appropriate that we recognize her in person.
Yes, I think she should be here.
I'll get her to agree to it.
Unless she's watching YouTube. She's one of the finest female councilwomen we've ever had.
Taking shots at you there. That's one.
Oh, I noticed. But I agree.
Settle that. Next, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the December 3rd, 2024 work session. May I have a motion, please? Motion by Councilman Otteson. May I have a second? Seconded by Council President Morgan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Thank you. Next, we have the approval of the executive session minutes of the November 18th, 2024 business meeting. And may I have a motion for those executive session minutes, please?
Phillips, so moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Phillips. Have a second? Second by Councilwoman Herron. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Abstention by Council President Morgan. Next, may I have a motion to approve the executive session minutes of the December 3rd, 2024 work session?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Phillips. May I have a second? Seconded by Council President Morgan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? All right, thank you. Next, we have council member reports. Councilwoman Herron?
Want to thank everyone for their participation in the great parade, holiday parade on the 29th. Really nice turnout, and want to send a big thank you to our police, fire, the library, council members, and participants. It was a very chilly night, but I think it was a really well attended, really nice way to kick off the upcoming, we have our menorah lighting. It will be on the second night of Hanukkah, which will be December 26th, 6 p.m. at the library on the steps. And looking forward to the next Thursday.
Yep, Candace Scott will be joining us again. Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Addison?
Okay, thanks to HIT for setting up the Tech Hall event on Saturday. I went there and it was pretty well attended. It was a fun event. There were a bunch of vendors there with foods and beer and they had the hair dries and it was a nice night. On the shade tree, we were going to honor Steve Dorsey, but I spoke to his wife beginning of the month and she said that he wasn't able to attend. He thought he would be able to do it in February, so we're going to push that back. And then I guess I was getting the reward. I also am trying to commission a plaque. And plant a tree on Station Avenue or something like this.
That's nice.
So we mount that on the sidewalk. So I've been in touch with Paul to get that done. And so, thank you, Julie, for helping us with the tree list this time. We put the door knockers out, Costello did that, actually got hit by all of them, so it was okay. We got 70 trees delivered on the 9th, so they're ready to go around as we need to go to get to it. We had 3 beautiful dogwoods from Kate on the project for the trail that they were going to use there, so they're actually now planted from high school location we selected. They look great. And then I'm working on the DEP forestry grant, struggling with the SAGE program, trying to get that underway. On the environmental commission, we finally got the grant money and it's available for $168,792.92. I had an ice, so we could proceed with that, and I think there's another $9,300 we can proceed for. So we can start voting on getting the remediation testing started, so we can eventually remediate, establish the athletic fields in the near future. We've also had a suggestion that we put recycling cans on Station Avenue. Before they said that they fill with trash, but I think we should give it a try and put maybe 2 or 3 out there, like for the farm market and events. Your wife actually sent us something from Trex, so we can also have a collection for plastic goods that aren't recyclable, and they'll pick them up and do that too. Then we can get a free finish out of that. On the fountain project, Marshall had to put a bunch of information together, and he's working with Heights Rose and the DPW to try to line up power and also to reset paper so we can have an automatic water feed. We can also have a presentation of water so we can water plants on Station Avenue. So we should have a presentation in January with all the information. Also, it's going to be like a self-contained fountain, it'll be pretty much taken care of itself. On the construction side, in November, we did $9,233 worth of permits. For the year, we're at $156,924, so pretty standing there.
Councilman Addison? Council President Morgan?
No report this month. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Phillips?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank Councilwoman Herron for all of her efforts with the holiday parade. There's a ton of work that goes into that, and it was fantastic. I think everybody enjoyed it, and I'm sure that the menorah lighting will be just as great. And thank you to Public Safety, Chief Hales and the Fire Department. Thank you, Chief, for the PD and the great work that they did and always do. We love our PD and FD, and they do a great job with respect to the parade and with everything in town, which leads me to Chief Hale's great job with transporting Santa around town, both Haddon Heights and Barrington. This past Saturday, he visited our house, and we got candy canes, and the little guys in my house were very excited about that. Well, the 8-month-old has no idea, but the 6-year-old was definitely happy. So thank you for that. He was actually picking up dinner at the time, so he missed the entire thing. Yes. Classic. Right. So great things. Thank you again, Chief Hales. Thank you, Chief Schneider. Redevelopment is moving along. We actually have a couple resolutions on for tonight. We have the final adoption of the ordinance approving the financial agreement for the Station Avenue lofts, which is the corner of the White Horse Pike and Station Ave, which is really our first redevelopment project to go through. I believe they anticipate breaking ground right after the new year. The financial agreement will be a great asset to the town. Pursuant to the long-term pilot over the next 30 years, we estimate to bring in about $2.6 million in revenue for the town, whereas the taxes we would get over the next 30 years for the underdeveloped property as it exists now would only be about $250,000. So thank you to Aaron Simone for all your efforts on the financial agreement and the entire redevelopment. Which leads me to the next project that is underway, also on for approval of a resolution today to authorize the execution of a redevelopment agreement for 322, 324 White Horse Pike, Chris Merzinski. That's the Jefferson Bank property, which we are very excited to see that become something other than what it is right now. We appreciate you preserving the buildings largely and not the glass connector of those buildings. So your efforts there are appreciated, and we look forward to that redevelopment project as well. And thank you to Erin again for your efforts on that, and to Emily Gibbons as well. So good things happening.
I'll try to say something nice. Thank you.
We appreciate you too, Howard, but you're not involved with the redevelopment.
Thank you, Councilwoman Phillips. Mayor's.
Oh, wait, I forgot.
Good.
We didn't do the report, the monthly report. You left it to me, and I almost forgot. Shouldn't have left it to me. That's okay. Unless people are tired of hearing me talk, which is completely understandable. So the police report for November 2024, the stats are 802,657 total mileage, 902 calls for service, 17 arrests and charges, 14 accidents, and 156 motor vehicle summonses issued. And then also for the fire report for November 2024, we had 17 calls in Heights, 22 calls in Barrington, 5 calls to mutual aid, 7 calls to the highway for a total of 51 calls, 5 firefighters per call, 16 career staff calls. And also we have nope, I don't have the EMS report in front of me, but great work as always. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Phillips. Mayor's report. So want to echo the earlier statements that the holiday parade was quite the success this year once again. So I had as often my appreciation to Councilman Herron, Councilman Pagan for his assistance too, once again with the DJing. Want to highlight the FD, and again, the most important job this time of year is escorting Santa around for all the kids to see, and some of those adults, they love the big guy, so we cannot thank you enough. Not an easy task, and so again, we appreciate everything that you've done. This holiday season, like everybody, I want to reinforce and encourage our residents to shop local. We do have quite a number of great businesses here on our downtown. We continue to grow and add a few. And it's a great opportunity, whether it's picking up a gift card or something small at one of our local shops. But more importantly, I want to ask everyone to think about donating local. That's one really, really amazing thing about Haddon Heights is, and I champion three very specific organizations. Haddon Heights Good Neighbors, which does a lot of great work right here for the residents of Haddon Heights. The other one being Interfaith Caregivers of Haddon, which services Haddonfield and Haddon Heights. And the final one being right down here on 7th Ave, the Methodist Church and their food pantry, which provides a number of meals for families right here in Haddon Heights and our surrounding community. So these are two great charities that you can donate to, and I encourage people this holiday season, don't forget to make a donation. Finally, we didn't have Councilwoman Russo here to join us tonight to recognize her, but I do want to recognize Councilman Ottison's efforts, which began back in 2020 when you and I joined council. You began the quest to work towards remediating those Devon F fields. and it has been a long and tiresome road, but you have gotten us to this finish line. And I know there's still some work to be done. There's plenty of work to be done, but I cannot applaud you enough that your resiliency to persevere through changing professionals in the process, to navigating the thousands of questions and bureaucracy that comes with doing anything with state government. You are a champion for that project, and I applaud you. That was an incredible feat. And so, great job.
Great job.
And that is it for the mayor's report. Moving into unfinished business, we have public hearing and final adoption of ordinance 2024-1563, an ordinance of the Borough of Haddon Heights approving the application and financial agreement for a long-term tax exemption with Station Avenue Lofts Urban Renewal LLC for Block 25, Lot 16 and 17.01 on the official borough tax map. May I have a motion to open the public hearing portion of ordinance 2024-1564?
So moved.
Oh, correction, 1563. My apologies.
So moved.
Thank you. Motion by Councilwoman Phillips.
Second.
Seconded by Council President Morgan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstained? Thank you. The public hearing portion now for ordinance 2024-1563 is now open. If you'd like to make a comment specifically for this ordinance, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Not seeing any public comment. May I have a motion to close the public hearing portion of ordinance 2024-1563? Motion by Council President Morgan. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Harron. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Thank you. Next, may I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-1563, an ordinance of the Borough of Haddon Heights approving the application of financial agreement for long-term tax exemption with Station Avenue Lofts Urban Renewal LLC for Block 25, Lots 16 and 17.01 on the official borough tax map. I said in the beginning. I said, may I have a motion
Sorry,
to
so
adopt
moved.
ordinance 2024-1563? You guys had me a little worried there.
So moved.
Motion.
Aren't we supposed to vote to approve the first one? We just
They're separate. They're two separate ordinances.
Right, are we doing? we gonna
63.
approve it? Are we gonna
Yeah.
Approve 63 first?
Yeah, that's what
And
I'm.
then-
Yeah, that's what I just read again.
Oh, I thought you read 64.
No, I read 63. I misstated. I misstated 64
fault.
on the first one. No, that's okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's why I got you guys
So
all
just to
confused.
clear it, this is your fault.
Who seconded?
All right, Howard.
All right,
So let me restate this just for clarity for purposes. May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-1563, an ordinance of the Borough of Haddon Heights approving the application of financial agreement for a long-term tax exemption with Station Avenue Lofts Urban Renewal LLC for blocks 25, lots 16 and 17.01 on the official borough tax map.
And I will make that motion, Mayor.
Motion by Councilwoman Phillips. Seconded by Council President Morgan. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Mayor. Council President Morgan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilman Otteson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harron. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have public hearing and final adoption of ordinance 2024-1564, an ordinance amending certain provisions of the Code of Borough of Haddon Heights, Section 75, entitled Establishment Membership of the Haddon Heights Police Department. I have a motion to open the public hearing portion of ordinance 2024-1564. A motion by Councilwoman Harron. May I have a second? Second by Councilman Otteson. All those in favor? Any opposed or abstained? Thank you. The public hearing portion of ordinance 2024-1564 is now open. Please step up to the microphone, state your name and town for the record.
Same from our chief, and requesting that these changes be made. Make it like a little easier in terms of management and set appropriate fees for off-duty services that they provide.
Not seeing any. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Is this just like random topic?
Just on this
It's just this ordinance.
We'll have-
I'll have a public comment at the very end for anything. Yep, yeah, sorry. There's a lot tonight. That's it. Not seeing any public comment on this ordinance. May I have a motion to close the public hearing of ordinance 2024-1564? Motion by Council President Morgan. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Phillips. May I have a motion now to adopt ordinance 2024-1564, an ordinance amending certain provisions of the Code of Borough of Haddon Heights, Section 75, entitled Establishment Membership of the Haddon Heights Police Department.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Phillips. May I have a second? Seconded by Councilman Harron. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Council President Morgan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilman Otteson, Councilwoman Harron.
Thank you. Next, we move into new business. We have resolutions 2024-231, resolution approving tax exemption for a disabled veteran and refund of taxes, the bonus. Resolution 2024-232, resolution approving tax exemption for a disabled veteran and refund of taxes, wait. Resolution 2024-233, a resolution, the Borough of Haddon Heights, Camden County, authorizing the execution of a redevelopment agreement, 322-324 Whitehorse Pike. Resolution 2024-234, resolution authorizing budget appropriation transfers during the last 2 months of the fiscal year, the Borough of Haddon Heights, Camden County, New Jersey. Resolution 2024-235, resolution authorizing hiring of a zoning code enforcement official. Resolution 2024-236, a resolution authorizing a refund of partial cabin rental fee, Hollis. Resolution 2024-237, a resolution authorizing payment of bills and claims for the second half of December. And Resolution 2024-238, a resolution providing for a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12, 1, contract matter related to shared service agreement with the Borough of Audubon for public works service. 2, negotiations related to the International Association of Firefighters Local 3249. Local discussion is expected to be a half-hour in duration. Formal action may be taken on the foregoing matters following executive session. May I have a motion for those resolutions, please? Second by motion by Councilman Otteson to adopt, second by Councilwoman Harron. Have a roll call vote, please.
Council President Morgan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilman Otteson, Councilwoman Harron. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll open it up for public comment on any items at all. This is public comment on anything. Doesn't have to be on the agenda. Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron.
Hi. My name is Karen Tustin. I reside at 101 Highland Avenue. I guess I'm here just to talk about pet registration and licensing. It's been kind of a big hot topic. Just as a background, I've worked at Finner and NASDAQ stock market for 30 years, so I'm a big regulations geek, and I don't oppose getting dogs tagged. I think the issue is on your website, you say that if your dog becomes lost, the Borough of Haddon Heights Animal Control Officer will take your, let's see. If your dog becomes lost, the Borough of Haddon Heights Animal Control Officer can trace your pet using the license tag number. Dogs without license tags cannot be returned to the owner and will be transported to the Voorhees Animal Orphanage, where costs may be incurred. It's my understanding that Collingswood Police Department actually has a wand and will wand the dogs, and it seems kind of excessive just to shove your dog or your cat over to a place where they're overcrowded. I mean, especially like with cats, they have breakaway collars. They're not necessarily going to be able to be identified that way, but they can be wanded by the police. So that was my first criticism. The second criticism was the whole implementation just seems to have been bad. For instance, my brother got cited twice with court citations if he doesn't get his pets registered. 2 of the pets were his daughters, who routinely just drop their dogs off because they're busy and they don't live in the borough. He resolved it the first time, and he just recently got another citation with the possible court dates that if he doesn't get it resolved, it happens. Another resident got something talking about her pets from 2009 don't appear to have been re-registered, and they're all dead at this point. I mean, she has other ones and she does have to get them registered, but it just seems like the implementation of this whole thing has been really subpar. So I guess I'm asking more so if the Haddon Heights Police could actually wand our pets. You do? Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, because I mean, according to this policy, it's just like you're going to ship them right off to.
No, and they typically don't. I mean, if Heights happenings, the PD.
Okay, yeah, we see it on the Facebook page sometimes. Yeah, pictures of them. Okay,
Yeah.
then that's fine.
Yep.
But as far as, I mean, seriously, my brother got cited twice with court. One actually had a set up court date, and he's got the pets registered, and it just seems like a lot of people are grumbling about, why are we getting cited again? Why am I getting cited for 2009 pets that are dead? So I'm not sure where the disconnect is.
So they wouldn't be getting cited for any animals from 2009. So probably what
No,
was
the citation
happening.
basically just said, hey, we noticed you got cited, you noticed you registered your pets in 2009. We haven't seen any current registrations. If you have these pets, please register them.
Right. So what's happening is because, the licensing was in the system before, our animal control officers are conducting an animal census, again, as you know.
Right.
And so they're getting the notices and they're going door to door. And there's, been a little bit of hiccups here and there with people whose animals have passed away. They call us. We, of course, let them know that, there is no issue with obviously having to get a license for an animal you no longer have.
Right.
But, I know people are a little bit upset about this, but, it is state law and it's something that
All
we are
right.
totally to implement.
I agree with
It's a
that. I
health
totally,
issue.
again, I have a regulation
Yeah,
background.
I think
but-
it's, I don't, and I'd be curious to see where, if there were errors along the way, I'm sure. we
Yeah,
made
my brother
those.
actually called up today and said, look,
Yeah.
I've resolved this. Yes, I didn't have him registered promptly. I did it a couple months ago, and now you're, again, citing me with possible court dates.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we go back and forth. We do our best to try to communicate with the animal control company, with checking our list against their list. Sometimes there is a disconnect in a time frame in which it's not getting updated.
Right.
This has happened, so.
This is
you know, it's
something we'll have to
unfortunate.
work on with our professional and make sure that they're communicating with us before they're perhaps citing any residents.
Yeah, they really, so there's been no summonses issued as of yet. They are going through the town one more time. And that won't, any summonses that might be issued would not be happening until January. But they've been conducting the census and they've been through the town once already, I believe.
Right.
So we asked them to go through again before anybody actually would, get a summons issued to them. And so that's what they're doing right now. They're going through a second time. And so there are some situations in which an animal has passed away, or there's, just a glitch in the information that we're, communicating back and forth with New Jersey Animal Control.
So, okay, so as far as this whole, we're going to send, your website says, we're going to send your dogs directly to the shelter, period. And when I registered my cats, and now I have a puppy that I don't have to register until 6 months, I talked to the person. I said, are you seriously going to send just random dogs that you find? And he said, yeah. I mean, the guy who was taking my fee said, it didn't mention anything about, being able to wand the dogs. He said, that's the policy. We're going to take your pet to the.
Okay, so that's a disconnect with the
Yeah.
professional, and, we'll speak to them and communicate to them exactly what gets done with our police department.
Okay,
And
and
I-
maybe adjust your website because
I
it says.
did, and I was going to say, well, I think what he's referring to is like if he reports out to a location, which people call animal control for, they respond out for raccoons, they respond out for a number of issues. A lot of times our PD's on location first. If our PD gets there first, they're going to take possession of the animal if they can do so safely.
Right.
And they reside here for a little bit, as the chief had made. So I think the disconnect is they are a private entity that we work with, and so they're going to have their own policies and rules that they have to follow because it's their protocol. And so there's a balancing act here. But again, I would venture to bet 99% of the time our PD is going to handle the situation before anybody else.
Yeah, and I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, we have a humane officer too.
They're our last resort. Animal control. We take our time calling them.
Well, then maybe you could just clarify your website because it's specific. I'm reading from your website that you're going to,
Well, you would be reading an ordinance which we adopt pursuant to state law, because at some point, if they're not claimed, they do have to go to the shelter. But I know that many police departments, including here, make an opportunity to attempt to locate the owner before they consider doing that, because if we ultimately have to do that, it costs the town money.
so then you're comfortable with the website saying if your dog becomes lost, the borough of
Where on the
Haddon
website
Heights.
does it say
Where-
that?
yeah,
So
where
we can
does it
make a
say
note.
that?
It's
Well,
under,
just so we know where you're reading from.
it's called the 2024.
Are you looking at the code? Oh, in the census.
It specifically says that we're just going to take our pets to the shelter regardless.
Yeah, that might have come from. Okay, well, we can take.
We
we'll
can look
take a
at that.
We could take a lot
Yeah, we'll look at it.
and modify it so that it reads a little bit more friendly.
Yeah.
I think the idea, the goal would be is we want to people to understand that we can only hold on, we can't house pets here in the Borough Hall
Right.
for days. Or, they're gonna, but as always, like with everything that Haddon Heights does, we know we're a community first, and so the PD does. They're gonna go above and beyond to try to locate the residents whose pets they are and return them.
That's fine. I
And
mean,
thankfully, from a community effort and the help of social media, usually we, very rarely, Chief, right, do we ever have to engage animal control.
We also have a law enforcement officer, humane animal law enforcement officer specifically designated for that purpose.
okay, no, that's
Okay.
fine. I mean, yeah, I mean, people love their pets. I mean, there was a dog that ran off on Highland and I was stopping traffic and people are chasing it through Barrington. So
Yep,
the
yeah.
fact that somebody, an
And
officer.
correct me if I'm wrong, the animal control officer doesn't patrol our community, does it, like on a regular basis?
No, it's
We
just
have
the
to engage
census.
them and call them. So,
Okay.
well, that's what I meant, like, right, so it's not of like what I think what some people picture is like the dog catcher patrolling the neighborhood, searching
Yeah.
for these rogue
Yeah.
dogs. That they don't. It's pretty much the PD has to engage them to have them come out.
Okay, that's fine. All right, well, thank you very much.
They're like our stop.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other
Mayor?
public comment?
I'm sorry, I just, well, actually, you want to close public comment, and then I just wanted to introduce Brian Kelly.
Not seeing any other public comment. Close the public comment portion. And, yep, come on up, Brian. Of
Thanks for having me.
course. Thank you for
So,
joining our team.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't know if I was there yet, so I figured let me come in just to introduce myself. So I'll give you a little background about myself. This way you're a little more comfortable. And Howard, we work together in Belmar a little bit. So I have a full-time job. I work from home, but it gives me ample amount of time to get out and I support Barrington with code enforcement and zoning. I support Runnymede with code enforcement. I was helping out in Haddonfield, helping out in Belmar. So what I do, community first, oh, she left. I do not write citations. That's the last resort I try to do. So when I do code enforcement, I'm going out knocking on doors and having conversations with the community. It typically gets completed. People get done what I ask them to get done. There's other times where I get a little bit more of a door hanger or something that gives them a little reminder. So point being, I'm here to introduce myself for the position, not necessarily saying that I need the position, but I'm happy to take the position if you're still looking for someone for code, looking for someone for zoning. I have the background and happy to help. So I'll open it up to a couple of questions if you have any.
How much time do you think you'd be able to dedicate and have it?
So we talked about that a lot. So the good thing is I'm probably out every day, at least 2 hours a day. Whether that's going to be a mix between Runnymede, Barrington, and here. I'm stopping in the office for zoning for Barrington. So I would say at least 2 to 3 hours a day. Belmar was a little bit more difficult on the code. That became a little bit more of a full-time job, but that's my promise to you guys. Once I get into this role, if I'm into this for 90 days and I can't handle it or I'm not putting the time in that I promised, we're going to have a conversation first. And I'm going to back off of it, or I'm at least going to let you know that this is my limitation. This is what I'm seeing. and then we'll have enough time to bring somebody else in or whatever it may be. But so far, so good. I think I'm able to handle another town. I rode around town a little bit already, so I haven't seen a lot of issues
Glaring
that are,
issues.
yeah, that are visible. That was the thing I learned in Haddonfield, by the way. The trees and the shady commission, I had to learn. That's the other thing. I introduced myself to the engineers. I introduced myself to the chief of police, and so I'll work with them closely enough to where I have their phone and my phone, so I'll make those calls, eliminating some additional work for you guys.
You'll be able to review planning board applications. And that nature as well.
I did not get into that, so I'd have to see what you're referring to. What I do now is code, whether it's,
Yeah, like basically I'm saying any kind of application that comes in for a planning board review or.
I'll be the first instance for the application part. So I'll go through the zoning, I'll understand the setbacks, I'll understand the rules, I'll understand all that. I haven't gotten into sitting in a planning board and going through those engineer reports or any of those things.
And typically, we haven't really relied on, between our engineer and our solicitor for planning board. Yeah, both of them cover it really well.
Yeah, well, I know HPC, they don't accept Dave's comment on.
It's just the first face they say.
But you would mark up and comment on,
I'm calling them too. If there's something out of the ordinary,
Yeah.
I have a pretty good relationship with the engineers. So point being, if it's easy enough, I'm the first application sign off. If it's something that seems a little bit out of the ordinary, I give them a call. But I will not be doing the engineering review or any of that.
We explained that we have this sort of, preservation commission. And he's actually worked with Suzanne in Barrington, so it's got a relationship with Suzanne.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you
appreciate
for
it. Thank you for the
coming.
time.
Nice to
Yeah.
meet
Appreciate you coming in.
We appreciate it.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, you don't have to.
yep, yeah, we're
on
good.
mute.
We're gonna actually recess into executive session, so we're gonna need to clear the room.
Yeah, same to you. Thank you so much.
Craig, I think we're good for the night, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Joey, no,
Thank
we're
you,
good, buddy.
too.
Thank you. He's gotta think about his HPC people.
I'll wait for you guys to go.
Do technically.
Recycling?
We can find somebody.
I have a motion to come out of executive session? Motion by Council President Morgan. May I have a second? Second by Councilman Harron. All those in favor? Any opposed or abstained? All right, thank you. Council, do we have anything to act on?
The first item of business would be a resolution authorizing a shared services agreement between the Borough of Waterville and the Borough of Haddon Heights for public works services for a term of 3 years, subject to conditional review by the CFO and by legal, because I haven't looked at it from a legal perspective yet. So we can put those two conditions in, hopefully formulate that resolution in writing, so Kelly tomorrow, but for the purposes of voting on it, I think we're good.
And name only. I may I have a motion to adopt that resolution, which would be 2024 to 39. Motion by Council President Morgan. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Phillips. May I have a roll call vote?
Yes, Mayor. Council President Morgan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilman Addison?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harron? Thank you.
Thank you. Next, do we have any?
We do have another action to take, Mayor, which you would not be familiar with. And maybe the council president could call for the motion and second on this because of your situation and refusing.
Recusing
yourself.
myself from
I
that.
appreciate you doing that. So this would be a resolution authorizing a collective bargaining agreement between the Borough of Haddon Heights and the International Association of Firefighters Local 3249, conditioned upon legal review.
That would be resolution 2024-240.
Yes, sir.
Can I get a motion to approve that resolution?
Motion?
Austin, second.
Can I have a roll call?
Yes, Council President Morgan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilman Addison?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harron? Thank you.
That was it.
All right, thank you. Not seeing any other business to act on, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Council President Morgan. May I have a second? Seconded by Councilman Addison. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. All those in favor? Any opposed or abstained? All right, thank you. Meeting's adjourned.